everybody's walking in, right? They're walking in from the parking lot because now that's the new fashionable thing to, shoot everybody walking into buildings, so, at the top of the program. But in this case, as Bronson Reed is walking in, Seth Rollins out of nowhere and blindsided him and beat him up with his own suitcase. And Brian, that's just an embarrassing thing when you get beat up with your own suitcase. And then Seth does the deal where he heads for Gorilla and they do the single camera, follow him through the entranceway into the ring, cut my music. And he wants Bronson Reed out there right now. And all of a sudden, here comes Pierce and security out of the entranceway, and then Bronson Reed beels one guy all the way across the stage, and he runs to the ring. And Seth dives on everybody. And then Bronson Reed just stops him and rolls him in. More security comes out, and they go back to the floor, and Bronson Reed is going to splash Seth on the desk off of the barricade or whatever. It's KI. You love this shit. You know you do. Then he's flinging the guards everywhere like the Incredible Hulk, and he throws one guy on 5 other ones and goes for the splash off the, I guess he was either on the barricade or the timekeeper's table or whatever, goes to the announce desk, and Seth moves out of the way, and when he lands on the desk, it exploded, and the side of it bounced up in the fucking air. It was like they had special effects because he's so fucking corpulent and heavy. And boom! And it got a huge pop, and they're chanting holy shit, which they got to figure out a better way to bleep holy shit than just bleep every second and a half, and you don't know what the fuck's going on.
They figured out a better way. Netflix.
You mean we'll get our fix on Netflix? Ladies and gentlemen, we've been doing this stuff way too long. I think that's pretty much consensus of opinion at this point. But anyway, they're holding both of them apart, and the fans are singing Seth Franklin Rollins' song, and the announcers are doing their on-camera standing up because their desk has been demolished. Besides the fact that was like 7 minutes of great shit, is that the first time, I'm trying to think, because I see so many people, because everybody does it so often that somebody gets jumped in the back. But is this the first time that they actually interrupted the walk-in that they've been doing since they got the new producing fellow and just jumped in on that?
Lee Fitting is his name. And
Lee Fitting.
I don't know for certain, but I don't remember another time since they've introduced that they've done anything other than that.
But that's great, because all of a sudden now you're like, oh shit, this was kind of. And again, somebody's going to say, well, he hates it when they do it on AEW. Yeah, because they do it 7 times a show every week. That's the point I'm making. You were kind of lulled into, a bunch of these motherfuckers are going to walk in the building. And all of a sudden, holy shit, and off we go. That's the way you establish what the normal is supposed to be, and then you goddamn, go crazy. But anyway, I like that segment. And I know you like the chaos and the anarchy there, Brian.
Everyone talks about the fine job you did in OVW with Batista and Cena and Lesnar and Orton. But look at all the TV time Kenny Dykstra is getting on TV right now. Ken Doane, whatever name he has.
Ken Doane.
He's all over the place. And he looks young, too, still, so.
Well, he had a rocky road to get there. But he was young. That's the problem. Is they sent him to us when he was like 18 years old. Maybe he was 19. And he became a star in his own mind early because of the pressures of being a young man in that position, and then had to be readjusted. I won't mention any names, but apparently he had gotten over, and this, I think, I'm trying to remember, this might have been right after I departed OVW, but whatever the time frame was, but he came out one day, Ken Doane did, in the parking lot of the Davis Arena, And one of the guys, who shall be nameless, was letting the air out of his tires, out of Doan's tires in his car. And Doan said, "What are you doing?" And the guy looked at him and said, "I'm letting the air out of your tires." Because you're a dick. And then, of course, instead of taking that as everybody previously in the wrestling business would have, as holy shit, I guess I'm a fucking dick, I got to do something about this, he called the office and complained and got the guys worse mad at him. But he was a teenager.
And that was his road to being an agent for WWE.
Well, no, there was 18 years in the middle, though, that, you didn't hear much from him.
I like the Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins stuff. It's my favorite stuff with Rollins, even more than the Punk stuff because it never really went anywhere. I hate the fact they're doing this at Crown Jewel. It's hard to get into a match at 1 PM or whatever, but, I've liked everything with Bronson Reed since Rollins left for a while, and I like this opening segment a lot.
Well, they finally got Reed over as some kind of wrecking ball instead of a guy in a suit that his mother thinks he's nice or whatever all that foolishness was. So that's a positive. And as we mentioned, it's good they also got Bronson Reed away from Brown Strongman because apparently
he did get hurt. You asked me when they had that match, you said, does he always run like that? Or whatever you said, he's running funny.
Well, yeah, you could tell that the last time that they had whatever they did, he had hurt something in his leg, I believe it was.
Yeah. See, I like that stuff. The stuff with him and Bronson Reed was great to me. It was Jack Pfeffer 2024. I loved it.
Well, I'm sorry. You want a pickle?
But you're right. They got him over as a wrecking ball. And because of his build and his frame, that's the perfect way to do it. And it's the kind of thing that Vince would have never gotten right. And he didn't get right with him for a couple of years. And, look at, in the last year, from Drew McIntyre to this guy, guys that seemed dead. I mean, dead on the roster, they were able to rejuvenate.
Yeah, and or resuscitate.
Yes.
Would you rather be rejuvenated or resuscitated?
By who?
Or regurgitated?
By who?
Well, it just depends. If you're going to make it, you can't be picky. It's like, no, don't give me mouth to mouth. Wait till somebody better looking comes along. Well, fucking die then.